We're under starters orders for the MotoGP Tissot Sprint here at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Let's head down to the grid and Susie Perry and Michael Laverty for the latest news, views and opinions on the grid.
Leading the way, 17 points is the difference. There are spots of rain coming down now. I just felt one too, Michael. This is bad timing for them, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen how grippy the track was in the morning sessions. Spots of rain were falling whilst riders in Moto3 and Moto2 were setting lap records. It's beginning to fall a little bit harder. We could see a delay on the grid if it properly comes down, but yeah, at the moment it's spotting just when the riders least expect it or least desire it. So yeah, helmets are going on, nervous times when they see those spots in the visor, and yeah, may well see a potential for a delay here.
Yeah, it is light rain at the moment, but it's literally come in the last, I'm going to say 45 seconds of us speaking, Michael, and it's continuing to get slightly heavier. We could well get a delay, but let's wait and see how they call this, because there is still sunshine but dark clouds, and it's very difficult. I think it's getting heavier, Michael.
Yeah, it feels like it's getting heavier. Right above us, it actually looks clear. The clouds are sort of around the periphery, but for the riders, when you're going into an 11-lap battle, you've got to give them full confidence going into turn one, and it's so disconcerting with this amount of rain falling. It's not wet enough. It won't get wet enough for wet tires unless it comes down properly, but yeah, it's a tricky one to call for race direction.
It's quite a lot, isn't it, at this stage, when we know how close these two have been all weekend to have the change. So they had to go to the front of the grid and do the minute silence, and it obviously shifted their focus and their thought there, and then get back on the bike, and as soon as they get back on the bike, it starts to rain.
The emotional roller coaster of a rider, obviously, for the likes of Jorge Martin. He's got a lot of friends, family, team from the Valencia region. It does, obviously, it incites a few emotions when you're there. For the moment silence, it can be quite morbid for a rider momentarily. Then they have to G themselves up, re-motivate themselves for lights going out and all aggression. But then you get the spots of rain, and that just tingles the anxiety a little bit. It just ups the ante when you least want it. But yeah, it looks like the circuit car is going for its lap. We could well see the warm-up lap kicking off on time, and we will be go. It does seem like the rain's dissipated a little bit now.
Yes, perhaps it has, and all the second bikes are, as you would expect, in the pit lane, ready for a flag-to-flag race, should that be the case. But this is the scene here in Malaysia for Sprint Saturday, and what a build-up we have had with the two title contenders swapping lap records to take the pole position for Pecco Bagnaia. Jorge Martin, your leader, in second place. Let's go to comms with Neil and Gav.
Time for the Tissot Sprint then. 3 races after this remain. Bagnaia v Martin down to turn 1. It's crunch time in the World Championship. The rematch is on. on in MotoGP for 2024. Here in the Tissot Sprint for Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, it's Bagnaia versus Jorge Martin off the front row of the grid. They're joined by last year's victor here in the sprint, Alex Marquez. Second row, Morbidelli, Marc Marquez, Enea Bastianini. Third row, Jack Miller, Fabio Quartararo, Alex Rins. Fourth row, Brad Binder, Johan Zarco, Maverick Vinales. Fifth row, Pedro Costa, Marco Bezzecchi and Raul Fernandez. Sixth row, Alicia Spargo alongside Andrea Iannone and Takiki Nakagami. And then the seventh row for Luca Marini, Juan Mir, Augusto Fernandez. Eighth row with Lorenzo Salvadori. They head off on the parade lap then. Fingers crossed it's going to stay dry. There's a rain in the air. The white flag has been displayed, which means that the riders are allowed to swap bikes. Alongside me in the commentary box is Megan Birch. Yes, we're tired, but Martin has a chance in tomorrow's race to be world champion. If he doesn't lose 5 points to Bagnaia in the sprint, the gap must be more than 38 points. Currently, Megan, it stands at 17. It's crunch time.
It is, and let's hope this is an intriguing race. And do you know, I don't know whether to hope for rain or not.
In a sprint race with only 10 laps, it's kind of weird if we do have rain because then I have to swap bikes. But it's only 10 laps, 20 minutes in total around this circuit. It's a difficult one to call. It's a difficult situation to be in for the riders as well.
Maybe even less, to be honest. Because how quick around this?
Well, in the dry, we've done the fastest ever lap time, which is a 1:56. So actually, it's going to be around about 18 minutes, taking that down over the lap. But with the rain, it could bump it back up to 2 minutes 30. That's how much, if it depends on how hard the rain comes down. That's your question. And that's sort of the advantage and disadvantage you've got to sort of keep it in with.
Hopefully not a lot.
Hopefully not a lot, but we will keep an eye on it as I'll back up so that we can have the camera on as well, on the two.
It's very sleepy.
You'll wake up once the race starts as well. You did in qualifying.
Unlikely.
Megan now putting her head down on the desk.
I should have gone to the toilet too before we start this.
It's a quick race. I bet we'll have a red flag as well.
Oh.
A quick restart procedure, I reckon. Something will come along those lines. Lawrence says, can literally feel the tension. Good luck, Pecco. Do you guys think ST says Bagnaia and Martin can come to blows?
Yeah.
Do you know, I think they will. Teeth gritted. Eyes focused on the lights. They're all on the grid now. Up you go. Ready. 4 races to go. 2 sprints and 2 Grand Prix. We still don't know where the finale will take place. MotoGP racing for Valencia. Bagnaia and Martin are racing for the World Championship. 17 points between them. It's match point. Lights on. And pull the throttle back as we go sprinting, and it's immediately a great start for Jorge Martin. Bagnaia's gone with him down towards turn 1. They're level into the braking zone. Martin has the inside line. Bagnaia's going to go late on the brakes. So's Martin. They almost come together. Bagnaia loses out. Martin takes the lead. Alex Marquez stays in third as Morbidelli comes through on the inside. Martin takes the lead. Bagnaia second. Marc Marquez is up to third position. Bastianini's fourth. Morbidelli fifth. Alex Marquez on the exit has dropped down into 5th position. He's past Morbidelli. Quartararo's up to 7th. Acosta's got 10th. But crucially, Marc Marquez makes a great start from 5th up into 3rd position. Alex Marquez goes down, but it's Martin ahead of Bagnaia. The gap now stands at 19 points.
So far they seem to be getting around the sectors quite quickly. And it's Martin and Bagnaia, when they were going round all the corners, they seem to be literally just neck and neck.
And Marc Marquez is going to try and get in the middle of this title fight. He's right with Bagnaia and Martin. This is why everyone's saying next year it's going to be a Marc Marquez domination. He's on last year's bike. At this point in the season, it's nearly a 2-year-old machine. And he is right there with him. And he's trying to already go around the outside of Pecco Bagnaia as we come into turn 10 and turn 11 now. Marc is right there with Bagnaia at the exit.
No, that will be Alex.
No. Alex is down in 5th position. It's Mark up in 3rd place as well. Mark had a great start down into turn 1 as well. Alex dropped back down into turn 13 and 14. The double right as well, where we saw
Basically,
Martin nearly broke it last year. Yeah, they've swapped back. Yeah, that's what confused me as well with the same type of helmet design. We need to have a look at that start again, as I was focused on Martin getting a great launch with the whole shot device into the turn 15 hairpin. If you're with us in qualifying, I explained it, how it's different. Morbidelli's gone round the outside of Alex Marquez. He's up into 5th position. Over the line we go then. 9 to go, no sign of rain. Bezecchi's past Alex Rins down towards turn 1 on the inside. The gap now at 20 points in the World Championship as things stand. Marc Marquez wants to try and get that more. He just after race victories. Marc Marquez has never won a sprint race. Let's see if he can do that here today. Martin keeping the advantage to the front with Bagnaia directly behind him. It's becoming a 3-horse race. Those clouds get ever closer. Wind speeds up to around about 3 kilometres. That was at 0 when the race started, so it's time to blow the wind in. Alex Marquez up the inside of Morbidelli. Martin made a mistake at the exit of 4. Bagnaia's right with him.
It would be ironic if both Marquez's won like 1 year after each other.
Yeah, it would be actually. It would be a nice little tie as well, but as I said, Mark has never won a Tissot Sprint. He's won Grand Prix under this new format, but he's never done it as well. Vinales also dropped down. Nightmare for Rins down to 12th position. Iceman says, I think it's 12 for the 9 winners so far as well. Into turn 9 we come then.
Morbidelli gets passed by Acosta.
Morbidelli's been passed. He's down from 6th down now. He's been passed by Quartararo, Binder, Miller, and then Acosta's going to have a nibble at him as well. So Morbidelli down to 9th place.
Wide.
He's gone wide at 9 and 10. So I wonder if he's had a little catch moment. We're riding with Bagnaia now. Martin riding so close to the limit as well. Elbow down on the ground as well as he comes into 14. But he's gone too wide. Bagnaia's got the inside line. He's got a much better traction out of 14 down the back stretch in towards the hairpin at 15. He's going to have to turn. This is going to be an opportunity that Bagnaia wants. He's going to look to the inside line. Last of the late breakers. It's not an opportunity for an overtake here. You've got to shape it up for turn 1. Mark's right there as well. Asymmetric as well. It's a high corner on the banking. You don't want to go too close to the inside line.
157s.
Over the line once again. Hello, Brad. Yeah, long time no see. Nice to see you again. And they've matched each other. This is the thing. The race pace for Martin and Bagnaia, we knew after free practice 2 and practice yesterday, the race pace is identical. Both doing 157.8. And so is now Marc Marquez. He's actually up there. And Marquez quicker than Martin, but Bagnaia's quicker than the pair of them on that last lap. 157.812 across the Delta time. It's getting close now, Megan.
It is. And it's Bagnaia currently with the fastest lap of 157.812, which is actually quite impressive given everything. Everyone is currently on the same tyres as well, so no one's actually... There's not much of a difference between everyone.
No,
they're
all staying quite close together, quite independently battling as well as they come through.
Bagnaia is dropping.
What's happened? Don't tell me he's done it into turn 9 and Bagnaia has crashed out of the Tissot Sprint. He's dropped the front and that is the World Championship advantage for Jorge Martin. That was always going to happen. He's done it again.
29.
The championship that nobody wants to win, and Bagnaia has thrown it away in the Tissot Sprint. Martin now has a 29-point advantage in the World Championship. He only needs to keep that advantage tomorrow, and it is over before it has even begun. The inside line at turn 9, the front buckles. It's the acute corner we were talking about. Uphill, it's a downhill braking. It becomes uphill mid-corner, and as soon as that angle changed, the front of the Ducati GP24 buckles away, and Bagnaia is out of the Tissot Sprint.
His only hope is if Bagnaia can get up during the time vote. He isn't getting up so far, so...
Acosta's down to 10th after getting up to 8th place as well. It was Martin who crashed out last year in Valencia to crush the championship. It's now Bagnaia's turn. And for the first time ever, it looks like the customer Ducati team is going to outfox the main Ducati team for a world championship. Martin's been told he's out, and now Pecco Bagnaia, with tears down his visor, looks on at turn 9's runoff area and just thinks what could be.
He needs Martin to crash.
Yeah, a double world champion is about to not have that opportunity to become a triple. Martin advantage and match point going into tomorrow. We could have it decided before even needing a final round wherever we end up racing. And now Marc Marquez is going to have to attack on Martin in order to bring that gap down to 20 again.
Martin needs to crash out.
If the championship wants to stay alive.
Yeah.
Bagnaia is watching at the sidelines.
We need Mark to take him out.
Unbelievable.
Which unfortunately means we need Mark to go out too. We need them to crash in together.
Thanks for the reminder, by the way, from Lawrence, that Mark won the sprint race at Assen. He did the double there, didn't he?
Oh.
So there off goes
There's another track
Bagnaia.
still.
Just the front buckling mid-corner. It's when the track becomes acute. Turn 9's uphill gradient. So, yeah,
difficult.
you're braking downhill, so you've got to control the rear not coming up. Then mid-corner, it suddenly becomes uphill. And as soon as that happened, he lost the front. There's the family.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right, off you go. Well, 6 laps. Don't be too long, otherwise you'll miss the entire race. 6 laps to go then here. Martin leads the way. Marc Marquez is in second. Aleix Espargaro up into 13th place. He's passed Johan Zarco. As we watch Bagnaia on the back of a Marshall's bike being returned to the paddock. Well, tomorrow is going to have to be a masterclass from Bagnaia. He got it wrong at the start. Martin took the lead, and then he got it wrong at turn 9. That is misery on the third lap of the Tissot sprint. Out he goes as well. The YouTube chat, I can see, has gone absolutely crazy for it as well. If Martin wins the sprint, then he needs to outscore Bagnaia by 9 points tomorrow. That looks like what we're going to have tomorrow. How is Pecco going to handle Mark next season with this kind of form? I've said it once and I'll say it again. These two, Martin and Bagnaia, do not strike me, and never have done, as World Championship material. In my opinion, Martin has done more to win the championship this year than Bagnaia. Bagnaia's had 9 Grand Prix victories, whereas Martin has had 6 sprint victories, about to become 7 this year, but only 3 Grand Prix. And yet, this is the man they've let go from the Ducati team. Martin has slowly got his act together. He's slowly got his form together. Whereas Bagnaia, yes, he's a 2-time world champion, but he's only a 2-time world champion because Martin, at that point in time, wasn't quick enough. Bagnaia has let it. I think what was happening, it's the Bagnaia of old. Bagnaia is always a crasher, and Bagnaia has, for the first time, let the pressure get to him. The rematch has going to be making it a draw in terms of battles that they've run against each other. But Bagnaia is a 2-time world champion in 22 and 23. Jorge Martin is already a world champion. He won it back in 2018 in the Moto3 class. So this will be his first MotoGP World Championship, if he can claim it. But Bagnaia is a 2-time MotoGP champion, but a 3-time world champion because he won the Moto2 championship in 2018 also. So it's still up there as we watch Martin, who's on the GP24 bike, controlling this nicely. He's 8 tenths ahead, now 9 tenths ahead to Marc Marquez as things stand. Let's run you through the order then for those listening on the radio, as Davide Tardozzi and Gigi Dall'Igno console Pecco Bagnaia, who walks down the paddock, visor open, looking very determined for Pecco Bagnaia. He knows what he's done. He knows that tomorrow he has to come out and win. He can't let the gap be at the moment. Right now, as championship stands, if Martin tomorrow outscores him by 9 points, Martin is world champion. Adam says as well that Jorge Martin is known as the Mr. Tissot Sprint. Yes, he is. He's done everything with it. Sprinting Martin, and yet he's going to Aprilia next year. My opinion, Marc Marquez and Jorge Martin will make a very nice factory Ducati team compared to Bastianini and Bagnaia. Don't know why they chose the wrong order. Bagnaia is now back in the garage. There is Pecco. Well, this is it again with 4 to go. Just drop that inside line. Megan's rejoined in the comms box. And I think even watching it back, Megan, there's the look at the Prima Pro Mag team. They can't believe it. And yeah, Bagnaia can't either. It's heartbreaking to witness, but
Everyone was shocked.
Yeah, well, there's Pecco's wife, there's Pecco's sister. And yeah, it's just like now tomorrow, if Martin outscores him by 9 points, he's champion. But it's just going to make it harder coming into the last race of the season.
It is.
Wherever we end up racing. Apparently, it could be Qatar on December the 8th.
At least it'll be quite interesting.
For it'll be the latest end to a MotoGP season in history. It'll also be that it'll have to be after the Formula 1 race in order to make that secure. It's a very strange event going on right now.
It would be a month.
Month gap, yeah. Between races. Open up the
Strange.
secondary camera so that Megan can be seen a little bit more easier. Your request camera, of course. Because you like to sit down.
Yes.
What a bizarre Grand Prix. Oh, well, it's not even a Grand Prix. What a bizarre Tissot Sprint. Tomorrow, then, match point. That's going to be so fun. Today's been called the rematch. But I think that was worth getting up for. An interesting one. And now, we've still got Marc Marquez. Can he have a go at Martin?
Possibly.
And we know what Enea Bastianini can do. We've still got 3 laps to go after this one.
Do you know what's the worst thing about Magnaia's crash? He did a red sector time a lap over the sector before.
Yeah, he was pushing and he was quick.
And it just let go on him.
Number 1, Bagnaia crashed out. Rider okay on our timing screens. How much of a crucial error is that going to be in the World Championship? As they all fly in once more.
That was a bit too close.
Is that smoke coming out of the back of Jack Miller's bike? Blue smoke out the back of Miller's bike. Accosted running to the back of him. Can you see what I mean? It looks like there's blue smoke. Let's see under the braking. It does look like it's a bit of blue smoke coming through it.
I
Yeah.
can't tell.
We'll see again. It's 3:16 a.m. here in the USA, Josh. I'll get up for this MotoGP Championship. Adam, good put. Megan, are you feeling well? Lawrence asks. Are you better? I mean, she was. If you joined us in practice yesterday, you know that on Halloween, on was it Thursday? She absolutely threw up massively because she had too much candy. If you're American over there, candy. Too many sweets, too many food. And I think you're just tired, aren't
Actually, I was feeling nauseous all day.
you? Yeah. Are you just tired?
I don't know.
Bit red-eyed, I see. She may not be 100%, neither am I, but she's still giving it her all. So,
I'm gonna go back to bed until like 10.
do you want to see how I'm going back? And I can't work out when. I think 11 I might get up. I then get to the box about 11:45. Zarco!
He's down. No, he's always... Whenever he actually had a good weekend, does he actually go down?
Gets worse and worse and worse. I knew I saw smoke. It was coming
was
off
him.
of Zarco. Zarco's bike's exploded.
So it was him you saw?
Yeah, I knew I saw smoke. Somebody had smoke. So Johan Zarco with a bike failure is out of the Tissot Sprint. 2 laps to go here in Malaysia. Under braking into the last corner. We're watching Miller, who's gone wide, and Acosta trying to get back on the inside to the acute corner. Over the line. We're watching Martin as well, who's going to win another sprint race. If Jorge wins, Pecco needs 2nd or higher to stay in contention. Jorge 2nd, is Pecco 4th. It says Iceman, the championship protagonist, are there. In fact, we're going to pin that comment. Iceman, we're going to pin that one. Pin message. There we go. That's the championship protagonist point. Iceman, if you can copy that so that you can post that tomorrow as well, that might be good. Say again?
Miller track limits.
Miller track limits to come in as well. In fact, I might just copy that ready for to post tomorrow as well, my friend. Can we copy? Copy text. There we go. So this is getting through. Championship has been wrapped up. Not yet. Not yet. 29 points, Martin and Bagnaia as it stands. But there are still 38 plus 25. So, what's what?
Bagnaia really needs a win.
60-something odd points still remaining in the championship. It's not over yet. Oh, hello. Acosta's trying to go around the outside of Miller, who's been told about the track limits warning, but he's trying to go to the outside at turn 9. Miller kept that inside line with sheer power and determination between them. I screenshotted it. It's been in the chat tomorrow. Thank you, Iceman. We'll pin that as well tomorrow. Because if you've worked it out, it saves everybody else having to type it out again. That's going to be the pinned comment for tomorrow to tell us where we need to be. Look at Acosta trying to go around the outside of Miller. Tries to cut back up into the inside at 13 and 14. The double right. Down the backstretch towards turn 15. Acosta's looking to the inside line to the braking zone. Miller knows he's there. Acosta's going to try a break in. Miller leaves him enough room. Acosta gently brings the bike down on the inside line. He can't get the exit speed. I think the blue smoke's coming out the back of out of both bikes, actually, the KTMs. So there's something blue popping out of there as well. This is the last lap, by the way, of the Tissot Sprint. Already at turn 9 is Jorge Martin. That's how much this field has already been gapped by the rest of the field. Here we are now. Oh, it's coming out onto turn 4. Okay, that makes more sense. They all look the same out of 8 and 9 from the aerial camera. Here he is then, champion-elect Jorge Martin. He'll have a chance to wrap it up tomorrow and be world champion. Do you reckon he's going to be world champion?
Yes.
It's going to be insane, isn't it? I think he deserves it. Out of the two of Bagnaia and Martin, I think Martin is the one who deserves it the most. So many sprint wins this year. Been Mr. Consistent throughout it. And Bagnaia's tried his best, but he's crashed too many times.
Also, he already has 2.
Yeah. And, of course, with Martin going to Aprilia next year, he'd like to go there as world champion.
Best to get it now and you know you can get it.
And really make Ducati suffer for not signing him instead of Marc Marquez last year.
Yeah.
Well, that was all decided earlier on this year, wasn't it? Back in Mugello at the test post-race. We're covering all those tests next year on JBMotorsports, all the post-season and pre-season and in-season tests. Well, we thought it would be rain that would affect this sprint race. Turned out only a few droplets. The high humidity of Malaysia burned it all away. But the humidity got the better of Pecco Bagnaia on the inside line at turn 9, dropping it away. The gap, which was 17 points, now extends to 29. The master of the Tissot Sprint does it again. Jorge Martin wins the sprint race here in Malaysia, punches the air, and now has one hand on the World Championship of 2024. He goes into tomorrow with match point over Pecco Bagnaia. Only needs 9 points to be crowned world champion. Marc Marquez second. Anea Bashini is third. Alex Marquez fourth. Quartararo fifth. Morbidelli sixth. Binder seventh. Miller eighth. And Acosta in ninth rounds out the points. Bezecchi wins. Aleix Espargaro. Augusto Fernandez Vinales. Marini Mia alongside Nakagami, Ralph Fernandez, Andrea Iannone, Lorenzo Salvadori. Jan Zarco's bike blew up and Pecco Bagnaia dropped it. But look at that. Jorge Martin will be crowned champion tomorrow if he scores 9 more points than Bagnaia. The rematch has become match point for Martin.
That was very good. And I've been saying for a long time that I think it's going to be Martin. Because I just have a feeling.
12 points more. Yeah, 29 now the gap. Still, there's a whole weekend left. That's going to be fun. Right, Megan, I'll let you go now. We'll cover the end of this. We'll see you tomorrow for the race. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Sprint time for Formula 1 is our next show here on JB Motorsports as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. as the action will resume at Sao Paulo, Brazil. Still don't know where we're racing for MotoGP's last race of the year. Timothy says optimism will kill Pecco fans as well. I think Pecco, I really hope Pecco wins tomorrow, just because I want a title finale. But if not, Martin utterly deserves this World Championship. Match point now for him. But that just means that tomorrow's Malaysia Grand Prix is going to be worth getting up for. Wherever you are in the world, join us here on JB Motorsports for the watch-along action. It is going to be insane. Let's check in Martin, we believe. One of the fans have been put there as well. Gigi Dell'Ineo proving he's not biased. Goes and celebrates with Jorge Martin's mum and dad. He's not the champion yet, but he's got one hand on it. Let's check in then. TNT Sports, Neil Hodgson and Gavin Emmett, and see what they make of all this.
It's very, very close, but it is not.
The title is not won yet.
Marc Marquez takes another step towards third in the championship. I was looking, you know, at his results for the season. Obviously being ahead of Enea Bastianini when you think he's on the factory bike. Third place represents a fantastic season for Marquez, and it would be a huge badge of honour, wouldn't it, for him to take it, even though he's used to winning these.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you think, obviously, the big decision to leave Honda, when you look at where the best Honda in the championship is Zarco in 17th.
Yeah, he was flattering that bike, you feel, last year, but at the moment, the top dog in MotoGP is this man, and you can hear the cheers for him.
What's he saying here?
I don't know, his hand there, it was as if he was
calm.
Yeah, as if he was saying, as soon as I heard that news, I had to keep my calm. I couldn't he didn't say anything. It was just the way he did his hand like that. There's Gino Borsoi with Davide Tardozzi. Not much overtaking at the front, but there was a lot of tension, I have to say. Keeping celebs on a level, isn't he?
Yeah, I also think, obviously, with what happened in Valencia, I think that you feel the atmosphere in the paddock. I mean, I don't know what percentage it's Spanish, but it must be nearly 50% this paddock with Dorna and all the Spanish
50,
teams.
like that, yeah.
It doesn't quite feel like the celebrations you would have thought.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're
respectful.
absolutely right with that one, Neil. It's close to many, many people.
Yeah.
Gino Borsoi, his team manager, his partner, Maria Jose, was stuck, actually, with the floods yesterday. It's very close to home for a lot of people in this paddock who will undoubtedly have lost people. Bigger picture, of course, and I think Jorge Martin knows that only too well. There's Paolo Campinotti. Can his dream of becoming MotoGP World Champions come true? They were team champions last year.
Yeah, he's the team owner, by the way, if you don't know. Paolo Campinotti, the guy with the glasses on and the T-shirt, looks like a fan. Do you know why he looks like a fan? Because he is a fan, and that's why he runs a MotoGP team, because it's his passion. He's been in this paddock for a lot of years, Gav. How many years will Campinotti been in this paddock?
23, something like that.
Yeah, 23 years.
Like
He will have invested some money from his company into motorcycle racing.
straight on with the cooling vest for Marc Marquez. Got to bring that core temperature down. Right, let's hear from the rider in third today, Enea Bastianini.
Enea on the podium in Sepang. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's been a difficult race for me because I suffered a lot with the front tire. Every time I tried to do something more, but I was without support. But about this, I'm here in the podium. But it was possible to do something more, and I can be really satisfied.
Okay. Better luck tomorrow. Congratulations.
Yeah, a little subdued there, and probably quite a boring race there behind Marc Marquez. Very steady pace between all of them at the front.
And it's a horrible feeling when you push a little bit harder and you lose the front, and it's like I can't fight here.
He said that a lot this weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah. It is a little bit the nature of this track as well.
When you're on the edge of the tyre, basically, they say just grips and pushes you up front. Right, let's hear from Marc Marquez. Another sprint podium to his year. That's number 10.
Mark, at a circuit you don't particularly like, there was 4 GP24s out there and you're in second. How did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, work, and if you don't have the chance, try to work even harder. This is the only way, and it's what we did. The team did a great job. Yesterday the feeling was not so good. Today we did a step, especially in the qualifying practice. We go out there with a setup that we did never try, but I feel comfortable. Then for the race they did a really good job. So yeah, super happy, and especially happier because this podium, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. So at the moment I dedicate this podium to all Comunidad de Valencia, that they are in a very hard moment, and we support them.
Great job, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, he's been a beacon for the MotoGP riders this weekend of, I suppose, ethics. How would you describe it? But he was the first one to come out and say we should not be racing at Valencia next time out. It has been heeded, and in conjunction with the Valencian government, the decision has been made not to go there. But, you know, he was the one who stuck his head first of all above the parapet.
Yeah, absolutely. He was. He's like, you need all hands, all resources on helping people that need it, not trying to fix this track for us to go racing.
Sprint win number 6 for Jorge Martin, perhaps the most important of the year so far.
After a day of massive pressure, how does it feel to have one hand on the trophy?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Malaysia. It was an amazing weekend so far. Today was a difficult race, actually. I started very well, but I saw, even doing 57, that was a record pace. Pecco and Marc were quite close. So then, as soon as I saw Pecco crash, I just controlled the gap. Marc was catching, so I had to be really, really precise, really focused. It was really easy to make a mistake today. Tomorrow will be super similar. So head down. Today, all my prayers are for Valencia and his, home people. So, nothing to celebrate today. Tomorrow is an important day.
Awesome work. Congratulations.
The boot to Simon Crafar down there after taking a big step towards his MotoGP championship.
Huge step towards it. Look, Bagnaia is no faster. It's not like he's carrying miles more speed. Sometimes in braking zones you see riders really close him. That's why when you look at the data, sometimes you can't understand yourself why you've crashed. Because the team would say, look, it looks like you're same speed as usual, same brake pressure, you've let the brake off. It's hard to say if he's taken well, he hasn't taken too much white line. He hasn't taken the curb or anything on the inside. I know this makes no sense what I'm going to say, but it's sort of not rider error. But then you blame you can't blame anyone else. He's the only one who's crashed. But
mentality of Martin this year has been supreme.
Mentally strong, Gav.
So we're going to have our podium. Muted celebrations, I'm sure, for the MotoGP riders up there. Cheers from the Malaysian fans alongside. The gap between Bagnaia and Martin stands at 29 points. If it's 38 by the end of the race tomorrow, the championship will be run. Bronze medal then for Bastianini. That's his 7th sprint podium of the year. Silver medal for Marc Marquez. That's his 10th. That's actually more podiums in the sprint races than Pecco Bagnaia has had this year for Marc Marquez. Extends his lead over Bastianini for 3rd in the championship. But the one that matters most is this gold medal being handed out to Jorge Martin. 12 more points lodged in his account. He's on to 465 versus Pecco Bagnaia's 436. The title is there for the taking as Jorge Martin celebrates victory in the sprint race here in Malaysia.
Champagne time, but no spray. A respectful clink between them all as a mark of respect to what's happening in Valencia. Very nice and professional courtesy to do as well. Who knows what's going to happen in the World Championship. It's advantage Martin going into tomorrow. And that is where we need to focus. You can join us for all the action here on JB Motorsports, Moto 3, Moto 2 and MotoGP's Grand Prix, all live here on the main channel. And it's Advantage Martin Bagnaia versus him. The rematch very much could become match point. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for your company this morning. Go get some well-earned rest. Take care. Bye-bye.